I am Tracy Fance. I'm a psychic coach and I help people have their spiritual awakening and I help them develop from their spiritual awakening. So whatever your spiritual journey is, I can help you with that. So I just wanted to talk to you about regulation and dysregulation, okay? And these are terms that aren't really used very frequently, so you may not have come across this unless you watched my video the other week on dysregulation. So what is it? So dysregulation is when we've been stressed or traumatized, something has created a heightened awareness in us. So think of fight, flight and freeze. I can never say that normally. And so when that response, that I need to do something response happens, our body goes into high alert, but we don't always come back down afterwards. Okay. So what happens is that when we're dysregulated, our body over responds to different things. All right. So how often have you snapped at a colleague or your partner, torn a strip off the kids and then thought, oh God, no, I didn't really mean to do that. That's normally a good sign that you're feeling dysregulated, okay? And so the reason it's important is because we don't want to over respond. We don't want to snap at the people we love or even take it out on ourselves, which I know a lot of my clients do. So that's why it's so important. Now, there's various ways that we can calm the body down. And at this point, we're dealing with the sympathetic nervous system, all right? And the reason we want to calm it down is so that we're in like a really good Zen state. I'd love to see everyone, you know, meditating and totally chilled out going, you know, this is amazing. But in all likelihood, we're not going to reach that state, but it's nice to have something to aim for, okay? So if you think about your typical day, and I know that this is a generalization, this doesn't apply to everybody, but let's say that you wake up to your alarm clock and you're kind of jolted awake and nobody likes that. And then for some reason you lose half an hour probably scrolling through Facebook or whatever it might be. But then you know you're going to be late for work or you're waiting for the kids and you keep going, come on, hurry up, we're going to be late for school. Your body's getting stressed. Then you're in your car and you're stuck in traffic or the person in front of you is driving like Daisy, you know, 10 miles an hour and you're like, oh, come on, you know. That all adds up. It might be that you're waiting for the lift and you're going to be late for a meeting and you're going, oh, come on, you know, hurry up, where's that bloody lift? Stresses the body out. Or you get to work and the boss goes, oh great, I'm really glad you're here because you're holding the meeting, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what this meeting's about, I'm not prepared, help. That stresses you out. It could be that you take a phone call about a meeting you've forgotten, or a client turns up on the wrong day and you're all discombobulated, but again your body responds in a way as though it's under a lot of stress. You know, that saber-toothed tiger is now that client that's there on the wrong day. So this all has that impact. You get home and for whatever reason you're late to pick the kids up and you're getting stressed, or it might be that you've got dinner on and you take a call from someone and when you turn around dinner's burning and the fire alarm's going off and everything else. It's all stress, okay? Now, I know that, you know, we don't necessarily have all of that happen in one day, but for some people that is a normal day. And when you're used to that stress level being up here, you stop noticing it, okay? It's like when you get in a hot bath and initially it's like flipping it, that's way too hot. But after a few minutes, you're used to it and it no longer has that same ouch factor, okay? But your lobster red, so it is hot. So imagine that we're doing this every day. So what do you do on a daily basis to counteract that? Probably not a lot, okay? If you're like most people, you might go to the gym, you probably just come in from work, do dinner, watch TV and go to bed, okay? But even the news, if you watch the 10 o'clock news before you go to bed, that can stress you out. And there's nothing you can do about what's on the TV. You can send stuff out to the Ukraine and you can put money into the food bank or drop food off for someone because you feel bad. But that stress is still there. and you can't necessarily make a huge difference on your own, and therefore your body is stressed. So you're going to bed in a hyper stressed state. Now, I call this over responding. So when we're in that heightened state and we react to something, we over respond. Now that might be that we over care. It might be that we over anger. It might be that we over excite, you know. But basically, however we respond, if we actually had 2 seconds to just think and breathe, there's a good chance we wouldn't actually respond in that way. We'd be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll come and do that, rather than rah, rah, rah. Okay. So the reason it's so important to understand the fact that our lives stress us out is because stress isn't good for us. We all know that, but most of the time people are not aware that they're stressed. And so therefore, if you don't know you're stressed, how can you do anything about it? And why would you? But also you're not aware that your reactions are being dictated by being overstressed. And so when we look at these people that get irate on social media, the keyboard warriors, and they're like, "Rrr," you know, they're just instantly reacting because they're not in a chilled out state. And when we're on the road and there's you know, someone that you cut up or they cut you up and they start getting angry and they leap out of the car and what have you, again, they're over responding because that stress state is where they're coming from. Whereas if that dropped and they were more zen, they wouldn't over respond. Okay, I know I've done this. I know, hand on heart, I've done this. Okay, and I'm not particularly an angry person or someone that responds angrily, but I do know, and I'm like, oh, ouch, yeah, definitely done that. So I'm sure that you have at some time or other. Now, there are ways that we can chill the system down and bring it back into regulation. You can't beat a hug. A hug is great. When you're heart chakra to heart chakra, there's just something brilliant, all right? And if you're unfortunate that you don't have anyone in your life to give you a hug, not even a neighbor, a friend, or a colleague, go hug a tree. I know that sounds woo-woo, but the body doesn't understand the difference. So hugging a tree creates the same effect on the body as if you had a hug from someone, all right? But you can't beat a hug from another person. Meditation, and I know that you're going to say that you've tried meditation and you can't do it, but you already do it. So when you drive home from work and you go, not sure if I've passed so-and-so, but I must have done. How did that happen? It's because you're in a meditative state. When you're just watching TV, but you're not really paying attention and your kind of brain's away with the fairies, that's a meditation. Doing the housework, meditation. There's loads of examples of when you meditate and you just don't realize you're doing it. Okay. You can also just take the hand to the heart and say, I am happy, safe, and loved. The body has something called the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve gets stimulated by stress, basically. And when we want to calm the body down, we need to just take the hand to the heart, because that counteracts the stress and it relieves the vagus nerve and it reduces the stress in the body and it releases all those happy hormones. Okay. So that is an important way. And, you know, I read for clients and when they're stressed, they go, oh God, yeah, it was really difficult. And it's like, okay, that's self-regulation. So it's really great that some people do it automatically, but most people don't. So we can also look at box breathing, and box breathing is just a breathing pattern. And so you start with breathing in for the count of 3, holding it for 3, breathing out for 3, hold that for 3, and then repeat it. Okay. And so that's a really great way of just chilling the body down. Okay. This is why when we've had a fright, or when something really scary has happened, or something really stressful has happened, we can hyperventilate. That's the body trying to self-regulate. Okay. And this is where panic attacks come in. And so, you know, if you were coming to me as a client, I would recommend that if you've got anxiety and stress and panic attacks, the deep breathing, the box breathing, okay? You can do it anywhere, in the queue, you can do it when you go to the toilets, you can do it in your car, you can do it when you're on hold to somebody. You can literally do this anywhere and nobody will even know you're doing it. And if doing it for the count of 3 feels too easy, up it to 5. And if that gets too easy, up it to 7. And that will give you something to challenge you. So these are all things that will allow you to become regulated. Now, you can't just do this once and you're done. You need to do this regularly. Same as you need to put fuel in your car. So get in the habit of building this into your day. You can do it first thing, do it lunchtime, do it evening, whatever works for you. All right. Set the alarms on your Fitbit. Set the alarms on your phone. We're surrounded by technology. So it's all there and ready to be used. So you might as well use it. So what will happen once you've done this is you won't be so quick to react, and you certainly won't snap or come from a place of anger or even just a place of, oh my God, I can't cope, I'm overwhelmed. All right. So this is all going to help you be more centered, to be happier, and to be somebody that you're happy being, rather than being the stress head that we've all become through life in itself. Okay. So start practicing those. Tell me how you got on. So tag me. My handle on most platforms is Tracyfance Psychic Coach. Hashtag me, whatever, but just let me know how you're getting on, because I really think that if you start doing this, you're going to see positive changes, and other people will see positive changes, and they'll probably see it before you do. So this is about getting your whole sympathetic nervous system under control, calming it down, and just being able to see things more clearly rather than being hyper reactive, which is what I call over responding. So I hope that helps. I hope that you've got something out of this video. I really don't do these videos because I love talking to myself. I really do them to try and help you. So let me know if it's helped. Let me know if it hasn't helped. At least I'll know not to bother doing them. And I look forward to working with you at some point in the future. So take care and go and re-regulate yourself. Bye.